Sara Sina is president of the Howard Company, a 100% employee-owned company based in Brookfield that specializes in branding, signage, and technology, including drive-through equipment and digital displays for the restaurant industry. Please welcome Sara.
Hello, good to be with you all today. All right, so the Howard Company is a branding, signage, and technology company. Our main products are drive-through equipment like canopies and menu boards. We also do indoor signage, both digital and print versions. Our primary market is quick-serve restaurants, so about 90% of what we do is for restaurants with drive-throughs. We also provide services, so some of the services that we do are we provide software for content management. For digital screens, we do order confirmation software, so that's when you're going through a drive-through and you see the order start to populate on the screen. That's part of what we've developed. And then we also do graphic design work. We have a whole team of designers, as well as printed graphic fulfillment. So we have a print shop that does rollouts for 1,000 locations at a time. And we also offer installation of all of our products. Okay, so the nature of our business is we are an assembly shop, we build to order. So we don't fabricate most of our metals in-house. We work with partners that will take our designs and will fabricate and powder coat materials, and we bring them in, and then our crew assembles and puts the electrical wiring into them. And because we build to order, it's very low volume, and it makes it really hard to do automation in the factory. So we've focused our automation efforts in the office area, and primarily, especially in our upfront processes for order entry. So when I first started with the Howard Company 7 years ago, we were using Salesforce as our CRM, and mainly it was just a place to keep customer contact information, names, phone numbers, and maybe we would get some notes every once in a while about a call someone made. But about 5 years ago, we transitioned to HubSpot for our CRM, and we've used the capability that HubSpot has with pipelines. So there are objects that you can create and move through pipelines, and so we have deals that are objects, we have orders that are objects, as well as tickets for some of our areas that do service, so our graphic designers and our installation area. And all of those tickets can be associated with one another and be associated back to the companies that they're for. And so as you move the objects through the pipeline, you can automate things like tasks that get created internally for people to complete, but you can also create automated email sequences so that as a deal gets moved to ready to enter your order, you can fire off an email to the customer with a payment link saying, hey, your order's been entered, here's the information you need for payment. Or as a deal is moved that has installation on it, if the salesperson checks the box that says this has installation, you can automatically generate that installation ticket, and all the information from the deal will flow into the installation ticket and give that install coordinator what they need to work with the customer. So some of the lessons we've learned is that this has reduced the time that we spend coordinating between departments. It reduces the amount of time that we spend emailing our customers. Much of it is done automatically. We do still have tasks that generate for people to call and touch base with customers, so it's not all automated. We're also looking at adding an air call phone system that will automatically take the calls that we make and do an AI summary, and then it will log that into HubSpot instead of us having to manually type in and do a summary of a call. And then another software that we've brought in is called Procero. This is a software that allows us to do customer-facing web stores that are specific to that customer, and it allows us to put products on there that only that customer will order. That's their brand standard. And we can even customize it all the way down to the location level. So if we have a brand but different locations order different things, we can customize and only show them the things that they normally order. It also has been able to help us with graphic fulfillment. So in the past, what would happen is our customers would email and say, hey, I need these items or these prices changed on our menu, and then we would manually type them in. put them into the artwork, and then get it ready for printing. But what Procero allows us to do is we've created templates that our customers will actually see their art, be able to go change the items themselves, hit preview, look at the art, make sure it looks good, and then they hit print, and it automatically feeds into our production-ready art. So that's a huge time savings in terms of production art setup. And then another tool that we are working on, we've been working on for the last 18 months, is we're working with a middleware company that's working on syncing data from our CRM into our ERP system. So for instance, as a quote gets approved, the idea is to have that quote flow automatically into the ERP system. This has been about 18 months, and it leads into lessons learned. I would say that this one has been a struggle for us in terms of the speed of the data coming over. It only refreshes and syncs so many times a day, and it's got to go both ways. And so the speed of the sync has actually slowed us down in some cases from moving on to the next thing. And the other thing is the partner that we chose, most of their support is located in India. So just the time zone difference has made it hard to collaborate with them and solve problems quickly. With the work that we've done on pipelines, I would say we wish that we would have started out by taking a more comprehensive look and mapping out the workflows across the business. We started with a more simple plan and said, oh, we'll add on to it as we go, and as we think of new things, we add on automation, but it gets really complicated when you do it that way, and sometimes the automation's almost working against each other. Oh, thank you. And so I would say if you're doing some automation work on the office processes, really taking the time to do that value mapping ahead of time and seeing where it is you're gonna get your best gains by automating. Employee buy-in and the training has been key for us. So in the beginning, we found that there are certain things that have to happen to trigger automation to happen. So for instance, I talked about if a quote is approved with an installation as one of the line items, the salesperson really needs to check a box to say this includes install. If they don't do that, the ticket doesn't get generated for our install team. So we have to make sure that that's happening, and somebody has to catch it if they don't. And so there is still some manual work that has to happen to make sure the automation works and is triggered properly. The other thing that we have learned is bringing in new software, just integrating it with existing software has been problematic at times. So the Procero software that I talked about, we actually had to delay the launch of that because just getting the UPS software to work with it and get the parcel pricing to come in and so shipping rates were correct was really difficult. And we still haven't quite worked out all the bugs in terms of getting the information out of that software and into our ERP system. And so that where we have saved some time in terms of graphic fulfillment and our customers reducing errors by having our customers put their own data in, we've gained some manual work on the back end to download things out of that and put it manually into the ERP system. But more to come. It's something we're continuing to work on and always finding ways to become more efficient.